Every year, thousands of custom surfboards vanish from beaches, cars, and garages worldwide. They don't just disappear though. They feed a highly organized, lucrative shadow economy. This is the story of the multi-million-dollar black market for stolen surfboards, how this global criminal operation works, who's running it, and why authorities are struggling to shut it down. The global surfing equipment market hit $4.4 billion in 2024 and is projected to reach $6.3 billion by 2030. Surfboards alone account for 68% of that revenue. Pair that with a global surfing population that grew 16% in a single year, reaching 35 million surfers in 2023, and you start to understand why criminals turn their attention to this world. There's serious money in surfing, and where there's serious money, there are always people looking to steal it. Here's what makes surfers uniquely vulnerable compared to almost any other target. When you paddle out, you can't take your car keys with you. You can't take your wallet or your phone. You're literally floating in the ocean, sometimes for hours, while everything you own sits unattended in a parking lot. One thief, when questioned by police, said it plainly. They focused on vehicles belonging to surfers because surfers would be out on the water for significant periods of time and couldn't take their keys with them. That vulnerability is exactly what a group known as the Bentley driving thieves exploited with ruthless precision. The operation ran like a choreographed heist. While a surfer prepared to paddle out, one crew member watched from a couple hundred meters away through binoculars, tracking exactly where the surfer stashed their car key after locking up. That information got relayed to a second crew member waiting nearby. A third, stationed on the beach, confirmed the target had paddled out into the lineup. Then the crew moved. They had the key, they had the car, and the surfer was a quarter-mile offshore with no idea what was happening. This wasn't petty crime. This was industrial-scale theft. On August 12, 2024, surf filmmaker Logan Dulian, known in the community as Chucky, and creator of the Snapped surf film series, stashed his car key in a side yard of his property in Newport Beach and went for a surf. When he came back, $150,000 had evaporated, cleaned out completely. What makes this story cut even deeper is that Logan had watched his mother die just 48 hours earlier. The money they stole included funds set aside for her funeral. The thieves didn't stop with Logan either. On that single day, they hit 3 other surfers for a combined total of more than $250,000. And that was just one day in an operation that had been running for months, possibly years, stretching from Malibu and Topanga Canyon all the way down to Huntington Beach and Newport. Over the course of the operation, more than $1 million was stolen from over 100 surfers across Southern California. Logan didn't let it go. He pulled his security footage and released it publicly. People warned him to take it down, telling him the crew had ties to Venezuelan gangs and that he should be careful. His response was direct. "I'm not a snitch, and I'm not one to dob people in. But when you get robbed like that, your mom dies, and they steal money meant for her funeral, it's personal." Within a day of the footage going live, the internet had identified the suspects. A detective with the Newport Beach Police Department assigned to the case turned out to be a surfer who had grown up at the same break as Logan, and the investigation accelerated fast. Daniel Castillo, the man caught on Logan's camera, was arrested and now faces more than 30 charges, including grand theft and fraud. He already carried 3 felonies and a homicide charge on his record and had been out on bail. The technical mastermind of the group, known as Camille, was also taken into custody. The head of the hacking operation, wanted federally, had been out on probation awaiting trial the entire time he was running the scheme. Even American Express got involved, with a private investigator from Amex reaching out to confirm the scale of what had happened. The Bentley driving thieves primarily targeted wallets, phones, and financial accounts, but the broader ecosystem of surfboard theft itself is a chronic deeply entrenched problem that stretches far beyond Southern California. On Hawaii's North Shore, the epicenter of professional surfing, this has been going on for decades. Professional surfer Jamie O'Brien put it bluntly: there were years and years, guys would show up at the Billabong house and steal 30, 40 surfboards. Literally the whole team's quiver, gonzo. He described how even the Volcom house, surrounded by what he called some gnarly dudes, would get hit. 10, 20 boards stolen in a single night, on the regular. These aren't cheap consumer goods. A custom-shaped surfboard starts at around $800. Premium boards from shapers like Christensen or Bing run $1,500 or more, and high-end specialty boards from boutique manufacturers can reach $18,500. Then there's the collectible market, where vintage boards have sold at auction for $30,000, $40,000, even $47,000. Duke Kahanamoku's historic 1915 surfboard carries an insurance value of over $1 million Australian dollars. So where do stolen boards end up? The answer is a sprawling, largely unregulated resale ecosystem. Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, swap meets, flea markets. One shop employee in San Diego described buying a board at a Coronado swap meet only to get back to the shop and have a coworker recognize it from a stolen board flyer. Stories of people buying boards from private sellers and then getting confronted in parking lots by the original owners are disturbingly common. The average second-hand surfboard sells for between $50 and $350, which means thieves can move stolen inventory quickly and for cash, making it nearly impossible to trace. Unlike cars or electronics, most surfboards don't carry serial numbers or registration systems. Proving ownership often comes down to whether you thought to photograph your board's dimensions, fin setup, and any unique dings or repairs before it disappeared. But there are glimmers of hope. GPS trackers, originally designed to capture wave performance data, things like turn counts and speed, could be adapted for anti-theft purposes. Social media has proven to be a powerful recovery tool. And when a board was stolen from a Waikiki surf school, posting CCTV footage to Instagram led to the thieves being identified and the board recovered in under an hour. Security companies on the North Shore have seen business surge as theft has climbed, with operators like Kimo Leong being hired to protect team houses and competition venues. But the fundamental problem remains. As the sport grows, as board values climb, and as surfers continue to be physically separated from their belongings every time they enter the water, the incentive structure for theft only intensifies. The surf tourism market alone hit $60 billion in 2024 and is projected to nearly double by 2034. As Logan Doolian said, the surf community is one tribe. Everyone doesn't always get along, but at the end of the day, if someone's drowning, we're going to do whatever we can to save them. The question now is whether that tribal instinct can stretch beyond the water and into protecting the community from a criminal economy that shows no signs of slowing down. Because inside the multi-million-dollar black market for stolen surfboards, the only people losing are the ones who love the ocean enough to leave everything behind on shore. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.